Hey, we're the Saffles. My name's Eric, and this is Brandy. Really, the shelter initiative kind of hit us at home, where we really felt like God was calling us to participate in some way. For Brandy and I, obviously having 4 kids, we're not afraid of kids, but it was something that God really just placed on our heart, that sometimes we need to step out and just follow the unknown, but the things that He's calling us to do.
I think so. I think foster care has always been something that I think even through my college years and early married, when I would see people in the midst of foster care, that it stirred something in my heart, that I just saw it as such a beautiful picture. And it was something that the Lord really put on our heart, and being in a season where, our kids are older. I will tell you, 3 out of the 4 were like, yes, we need to do that. There was a lot of conversation about Roe versus Wade being overturned. Our boys were asking questions as they were hearing different things, and so we had lots of conversations about that. So 3 out of the 4 were a yes, we're all in. One of them was really hesitant. I think just change, and which I think you could expect, like it is change for your family. Yeah. And so how do we as a family navigate this, where we felt called to do something, but maybe one person was a little bit hesitant. But I think Eric and I, through praying through that, felt like it was something we needed to press into.
Yeah, I think for me it was a moment of having to evaluate, are we getting caught up in emotion and going forward with something that God was not all in for our family yet.
Yeah.
And it was a moment for us to pray through that and realize there's definitely going to be some challenges. Mm-hmm. There's definitely going to be some hardship, and each one of us needed to be in, and we needed to be all in.
So we did have a couple of phone calls, and then it was the 30th of March, and we got a phone call. I will remember this. The boys were at baseball practice, and Eric got the call, and they said, we have, and gave, of course, age and gender, and I said, yes, we will take that child. And she said, okay, great, we'll go ahead, and the supervisor will call you. Called us back and said, okay, great, will you still take this child? We said yes. And then the next morning, this child's social worker called and said, okay, these are all the different things that services that this child is going to need. Are you still okay with that? And we said yes, we're still okay with that. And I think the shelter initiative, I can't remember who said it, but if we don't do our part, there are other people in the body that don't get to do their part. And that has just rung in my head over and over again, that we have been called to be the physical hands and feet of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And there have been other people, though, in different stages of life who have come alongside us from Broadmoor that have said, what do you need? And have donated and given and supplied diapers, and they've supplied meals and helped so much in this process. And this little sweet little thing that we have the privilege to just love on right now is prayed over constantly by members of our congregation. They are checking in with us. They are loving us. And our boys, to see them see this process, they have such a different view of what it means to love people, I think, at this point than they ever have. And they have a different view of what the church is supposed to be. Our boys in praying have started just praying for thank you and thanking God for the people at church who have come alongside to help with this sweet little one that we have in our house.
And that's been a great picture of just seeing what God's doing in our boys' hearts. having, remember, 3 out of 4 saying yes, and having that pause with the fourth. I remember the night that it clicked with our fourth, and all 4 boys are all in now. You know, it was a beautiful picture of seeing God take a moment where our son was apprehensive and suddenly he was all in.
You know, I've had some people say, well, I don't know how you could do this. I could never give them back. And I don't know, but God is big enough and He's called us to say yes. And this child that we have been given for this time, we don't know how long, we don't know how short, deserves the opportunity to be loved deeply. And I think we're just believing that God is going to cover that and that He has a plan.
Absolutely.